What is this all about? What's going on here?
Yeah, you might want to ask him about this thing. It's amazing.
That's him, these are us.
Yep.
Okay, well, let me find out what's going on with us, and I'm going to come back to you guys. I'm curious. How are you, sir?
Yes, sir.
What's going on here? What's this all about?
Handing out copies of documentaries that are addressing a lot of the issues that are sort of central, to my mind, of what's being discussed down here at Occupy Wall Street.
And what are some of these issues?
The film Zeitgeist and Zeitgeist Addendum talks about myths and how they function in society, religious myths, political myths, and economic myths, and then gets into detail about fractional reserve lending, derivatives trading, and debt-based monetary system. The corporations, the history of that business model since it was instituted in law, what it was allowed and not allowed then, and how that's changed over the years, corporate personhood, all that kind of stuff. Money as Debt is great detail about what money is, fractional reserve lending, and a debt-based monetary system, and proposes an alternative. Manufacturing Consent is Noam Chomsky in the media. It's his propaganda model talking about how for-profit media institutions will necessarily reflect a range of elite opinion and everything else is marginalized. And then Century of the Self is a documentary from the BBC about Edward Bernays, Freud's nephew, how he came to the United States using Freud's theories and created the idea of consumer culture, identifying ourselves by what we purchase, and that led to marketing, propaganda, and everything. A lot of the mode that sort of sedates the population and keeps them from knowing what's going on or knowing their power to change it.
So we are really a consuming society?
We are made to believe that we are.
Or we are made, is that a myth also?
Well, I think it's palpable that we are. It's definitely what happens day to day on the street, but it's the one thing that's really unique to me about what's going on here at Occupy Wall Street is that this is one place where we can go to not be complicit in that. We can stand outside of it and have our voices heard and our needs served here in this community, in this park, and that concept is resonating a lot with the world.
What are some of the economic myths that are being floating around here today?
Economic myths, the idea that the dollar is backed by anything other than our faith in it. It's a fiat currency. The derivatives that are traded are myths unto themselves. They are not representation of any real good or service, and they represent probably 1,000% of the rest of the global economy taken together. You know, the massive, the 99% gets thrown around a lot down here, but the majority of people use credit for food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and that entire credit system is in jeopardy because of the trading of risk that's being done atop the economy by less than 1% of the population. There's no need for it.
How would we change that?
I would outlaw all derivatives trading myself, but I think the best thing that's going on down here is that we're not really addressing, or I'm not addressing policy. I'm attending to my needs and the needs of others and learning and having community down here. It's a social movement rather than...
So you're here to heighten all of the contradictions that you see in the society?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And what organization are you from?
I'm not from any organization.
Okay. Are you a student?
Nope, well, except insofar as I'm learning more down here than I have in my 4 years of university that I attended.
Are you employed?
I am. I'm an actor. I work in theater, variously employed, sometimes on, sometimes off.
And what university did you attend?
Florida State University in Tallahassee, Florida. It was the first protest I ever participated in was in 2000 when we were questioning whether or not we ought to count the votes that had been taken in Florida.
That's great. So you live in Florida now?
I do not. I live in New York now, last 8 years.
I see. Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. Yes, okay, and good luck.
Thanks
okay, good.